My sister-in-law is in love with my husband. My husband and I met each other at a ski lodge 9 years ago. I was with my youngest daughter, a female friend, and her child. There was a singing competition and both of us were set up by our friends to enter it. Sparks flew during our duet and the rest is history. This was the first time I caught on to my sister-in-law's disturbing behavior. After the singing competition, he and I went to a cafe nearby to chat. His middle sister, Tina, who was adopted at birth, came storming up to us and demanded he come back to their group. She never looked at me and only whined when he shut her down. She ran off crying, took her sister's room keycard, and locked them out so they had to stay with the friends they had brought along for the night. Fast forward to when my husband and I bought a house together. We decided to have a nice housewarming party and invited our family and some close friends. Tina showed up in a scandalous club outfit and ignored me the entire time. She couldn't keep her hands off my husband all night and decided to reminisce about them when they were little, telling everyone just how close they were. She'd kiss him on the cheek, hug him, and touch his arm whenever she laughed. He was visibly uncomfortable and that's when I decided to step in. At first, I thought she had a small crush on him but with the way she was acting it came off like she was his possessive jealous girlfriend and I was getting in the way of them. She was going around the entire night reminding everyone that he used to say he never wanted to have kids, but now he's playing the role of a father to my daughter. One of my friends said she thought Tina was weird for talking about how hot my husband looked in his modeling photos when he did print work back in college and that her favorite photo was of them at a beach in Hawaii during a family vacation a few years back. The most bizarre thing she told a few people was that he had never dated a woman of color before and now all of a sudden he's in love. It's only bizarre to me because she's biracial, so I couldn't understand why this would bother her unless she was jealous of me because she wished she were me. Things started to go south towards the end of the night when he got down on one knee and proposed to me. Tina started crying and ran to the restroom which left their dad to go check on her. He then drove her home because she couldn't seem to pull herself together. I knew exactly why she was upset, but my husband always equated her behavior to jealousy because she never had any healthy relationships of her own. After that tantrum, she skipped our wedding, baby shower, our children's birthday parties, and any other family events that we attended together. I was fine with extending invitations because I knew she wasn't going to show up. She had some sort of mental breakdown and was in and out treatment for years. I wish nothing but the best for her and I don't know what kind of issues she's going through but I don't want her disrupting our peace. I'm currently pregnant and our baby shower is at the end of this month. I'm holding it a few months early because I'm at high risk to go into labor earlier than other women, like I did with my other 2 children. My mother-in-law called to confirm she'd be there and stated Tina would be riding with them, asking if it was alright if she brought her new boyfriend. I was surprised because we hadn't seen her in years and while I was a bit worried to agree I eventually did and hoped that she resolved whatever caused her so much distress when she was around my family. It took all of 24 hours for her to start her nonsense back up again. She texted my husband paragraphs at 3 in the morning telling him how she felt about our family. First, she went on to say how much she missed being close to him the way she used to when they were kids and how after I came into the picture all I did was destroy their relationship. She asked him if he was happy with his life and reminded him that he used to say he never wanted kids or marriage. She then asked if he thought about her all this time and if he could meet up with her before the shower so they could talk alone, face to face. That was the last straw for me. I asked my husband if he knew she was in love with him and he just shrugged and said he didn't doubt my theory. Apparently, when she was 11, she asked if they could cuddle and kiss but he said no. He admits her behavior since then has always been weird and dramatic, but he didn't pay her much attention because they had many siblings and they all hung out together all the time. I asked him if he could uninvite her and this new boyfriend she'd be bringing because I think she's going to bring drama to our baby shower. He said he wants to talk to his parents first to see what kind of state she's been in, but I know in my gut that she's ready to ruin our day with her theatrics. Final update: my sister-in-law is in love with my husband. My husband and I decided that we need to be completely removed from sister-in-law's drama in order for us to focus on having a healthy pregnancy and family life. Ever since my husband left Tina on read, she started calling and sending a bunch of unwarranted and degrading texts about me and our children. He sent her a long paragraph that he showed me as soon as he got home, basically telling her off and told her that he would rather never speak to her again than listen to her talk bad about our family. He told her she would never be invited to any of our family functions and that she needed to check herself back into the hospital if she thought their sibling relationship was ever going to be any closer than brother and sister. He closed it off by saying he would let the family know the reason she was uninvited and that he hoped she's either seeing a therapist or finds one immediately. Her messages had pushed him to the breaking point, with the worst thing she said being that the reason I had 2 miscarriages in the past was because me and my husband don't actually belong together and that my body couldn't handle carrying any of my children to term because it wasn't meant to be. I expected her to bring something like this up, but I could tell it really hurt him, and that's why he didn't hold back from her. He then blocked her and told me he's changing our phone numbers as soon as possible. He called his parents and the oldest of his sisters that he's close to and explained to them why Tina would never be allowed to visit our home. He shared all of their text exchanges and they were mortified. He asked them not to share our address or our new numbers. They assured us that none of them planned on sharing this information with her. They then proceeded to tell us that she actually asked for my husband's work schedule and mentioned driving up a day early to surprise him. My father-in-law said he always knew Tina had a little crush on my husband, but after her outburst at our housewarming years ago, they had a conversation about her behavior and she told him that she had been keeping a diary about him since she was a teenager. She explained it was to process her emotions and to challenge negative thoughts, but all I got from it was that she had written about my husband for years. Apparently, she only stayed away from my husband because my father-in-law kept her in check and was able to get her hospitalized several times for being a threat to herself and others. My husband's family told us they would deal with her and apologized for thinking she had resolved her issues. Someone pointed out to me that Tina is potentially dangerous and could hurt me or our children, and this really scared me. My husband is going to upgrade our alarm system and purchase more cameras. I don't work summers and will most likely be out on bed rest by the time I have to go back to work, so he wanted to ensure the kids and I were safe when he's away from home. We live about 5 hours away, so she would really have to go out of her way to show up here if she somehow found out where we live. I'm hoping that this is the end of the entire situation and we never have to see Tina ever again, but I also hope that she's able to get the proper help she needs because she's clearly disturbed.